Hey guys, this is Barrington Irving. In 2007, I set a Guinness World Record to become the youngest person to fly solo around the world. I'm also an entrepreneur and explorer for National Geographic. And behind me is my beloved Mitsubishi MU-2 Marquise. Built in 1982, this thing is a speed demon, but it's a very capable, robust airplane that I love to fly.
Yes, Mitsubishi mates an airplane. This is the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries MU-2. They were first built in 1963 and continued until 1986. There were 704 of the aircraft built both in Japan and San Angelo, Texas. The aircraft is a retractable gear with two 715 horsepower turboprop engines that are known for being quite loud on the ground. The MU-2 has a roomy pressurized cabin, and Barrington's updated this aircraft with advanced avionics from Garmin. Barrington's had quite a few accomplishments in his life. He started the flying classroom curriculum for schools, and he set a world record by being the youngest pilot to solo fly around the world. In this video, we're going to talk to Barrington and then take his airplane up in the air.
How I got into aviation is quite interesting. None of my family members was ever involved in aviation. I always thought aviation was cool, but to be quite honest, I grew up less than 2 miles from here, a really rough neighborhood, right here in Miami, and I thought aviation was cool, but I didn't think it was accessible. It wasn't until I met an airline pilot, randomly in a store, chance meeting. I saw this guy step out of a nice, luxurious truck, walks in with his airline uniform, and I'm looking at him like, this dude looks like he makes a lot of money. And he saw that I was staring at him, walked over to me and said to me, hey son, have you ever thought about becoming a pilot? First words out of my mouth, I said, I don't think I'm smart enough to fly an airplane. And he started to encourage me, and I asked him one question that changed everything. This was back in 2001. I said, how much money do you make? And when he told me how much money he made, I took an interest in aviation, interest turned into passion, and here I am today. So getting into aviation can be quite expensive, as we know. And it's an extreme challenge, right? And I played football for a team that was ranked #1 not only in the state of Florida, we're ranked #1 in the entire country. So I had a number of football scholarships. All I wanted to do was to play in the NFL. And I had my former high school teacher, Miss Batiste, who I couldn't stand this woman, and she constantly nagged me and said, Barrington, pursue a career in aviation, forget about football. Turned down my football scholarship. My parents looked at me and said, well, how are you going to pay for school? We can't afford it. And I first attended my local community college, then transferred over to Florida Memorial University. I just started, working. I was working 2-3 jobs, like most pilots. You do what you got to do in order to stay in the air. Pieced it all together, graduated with my aeronautical science degree, my bachelor's in aeronautical science, and the rest was history. So the same guy who introduced me to aviation, Captain Gary Robinson, once I started flight training, he made me promise to give back. I'm like, dude, I don't have any money to give. How could I possibly give back? And he taught me the value of sharing your knowledge, sharing your experiences. So I just started going out in the community and just talking about aviation. I loved it so much, I said, how can I do this on a much larger scale? And that's when I wanted to fly around the world, just to simply inspire students. Had no clue about setting any records, had no clue about, different feats I would accomplish. I just simply wanted to fly around the world. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know at the time the youngest person to fly around the world was 37 years of age. And I ended up doing it at the age of 23. It took 2.5 years to get my first yes. A lot of people were telling me no, and it was discouraging, but I stuck with it. Captain Gary Robinson as well as Miss Batiste and a number of great people just surrounded me. And I was able to do it because of great people who decided to give a young man a chance in this industry. And to be quite honest, I'm forever grateful for that. And in 2007, I set a Guinness World Record to become the youngest person to fly solo around the world and also the first black man to accomplish it. I set a number of other speed records. I did this in a Columbia 400 aircraft, and I love that airplane. And to be quite honest, that airplane did a solid job to get me around the world. My flight legs sometimes were as long as 13, 14 hours. I modified the airplane where I took out 3 of the 4 seats, put in an extra 75 gallons of fuel, and I was able to fly 1,700 nautical miles on average. When I did that flight around the world, I was still stuck in that era where small airplanes didn't have XM satellite. And if you did have the XM satellite, it certainly didn't work, around the world. And the other issue I had is I had no weather radar, no de-icing, and it was extremely challenging. The flight took me 97 days, 145 flight hours, and I made 27 stops in 13 countries. So this airplane I'm standing in front of, it's a Mitsubishi MU-2 Marquis. Now, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries designed this airplane for the Japanese military. This is an amazing airplane, and to be quite honest, it's a plane that's misunderstood. I have tremendous appreciation for this airplane because it allows me to accomplish my mission, honestly, in a number of different ways. I'm able to carry 6, 7 people easily, 600-700 nautical miles. I'm also able to cruise at 290, 300 knots. This airplane literally flies just like a jet. I also have a type rating in a Hawker 400 XP. A lot of people don't know this, but the Hawker 400 was designed based on this platform. You see, the Mitsubishi MU-2, first they came out with the turboprop version, and then they transitioned to the Mitsubishi Diamond, which then became the Beechcraft, which then became the Hawker 400. And they literally fly almost the exact same way. The MU-2 flies just like a jet. This is not an airplane that you're a weekend warrior and every now and again you fly. You have to be very proficient. In order to be certified to fly this airplane, you have to complete what's called an SFAR. So once a year, you go into training. It's very similar to a type rating, to be quite honest, but there's a certain way you fly this airplane. There's a certain way you must fly this airplane. This isn't an airplane where you make up procedures, or if you have an emergency, you just do it the way you'd like. This plane literally flies very similar to most jets, where there are procedures you must follow. And if you don't follow the procedures, you're gonna get in trouble. And with all of that said, I love this beast. This thing is rugged, it's capable, I can get in the short fields, I can get on the grass strips, gravel strips. The plane was honestly built in a robust and rugged manner. It's just amazing that a plane that was built back in 1982 can still outperform most turboprops till this day. Let's compare it to a Citation 1, a CJ1. Yes, I might not have the ceiling of a Citation 1, but I can get up to 28,000 feet. With RVSM limitations, the actual true altitude max ceiling is about 31,000 feet in this model of the MU-2. I can go further, I can carry much more. Now I can't do it as fast, but you're only talking a difference of maybe 20, 30 knots. And it just provides tremendous capability. This airplane also competes with the King Airs. The B200 is a common competitor. Those airplanes are cruising around somewhere, let's say 240 knots, 260 knots or so. This aircraft just goes much faster, and it just meets a niche. So I use this airplane to conduct some of my expeditions. So I have a company called the Flying Classroom, and I also have a nonprofit organization called Experience Aviation. And I'm also an explorer for National Geographic. And I sell curriculum to schools all across the nation. Sometimes you have schools located in major cities. Other times you have schools located in remote regions of the United States. This airplane can honestly get me in and out of there very efficiently and easily. I can get into 2700 Strip Airport with great ease in this airplane. I also utilize the MU-2 to conduct a lot of my expeditions. I'm able to carry researchers, film crew, scientists, engineers to go out and film expeditions in a number of different parts around the world. A few years ago, I decided to launch a company called the Flying Classroom, where I literally transform our airplanes into a real-life magic school bus. The whole reason for wanting to do that is because a lot of kids, when they're sitting in class, they ask themselves a question, when will I ever use this in life? How does science, math, engineering, all these subjects I have to learn, when will I practically utilize it in life? So we decided to utilize aviation as our vehicle to go and explore these things that they have to learn in real world relevance. So we travel to a number of different continents and where we conduct expeditions. So for example, students have to learn about the atmosphere. Well, we did a high altitude jump from 31,000 feet. Students need to learn about DNA. We traveled to Palau and we worked with sea snakes, collected their venom and DNA and show how you can fight against heart attacks, heart disease, and high blood pressure. Students need to learn about the digestive system. We traveled to Israel and I swallowed a camera pill to give kids a virtual tour inside of my body. You know, one of the most amazing things about our industry as it relates to aviation is it's one of the greatest playgrounds on earth. And if I had a group of 20 kids here right now, none of them may not want to become a pilot, or maybe only a few of them may want to become a pilot. But guess what? Every single one of them is going to look inside of an airplane. And that's the power we have in our industry, where it's captivating and it's engaging. So our flying classroom curriculum is in over 600 schools across the United States, from Florida to California, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Texas, Tennessee, Georgia, and we've just been growing like crazy. Anyone who has interest, feel free to visit flyingclassroom.com. And basically what we do, we take core subject matter students have to learn, and we transform it into meaningful learning a teacher can utilize in the classroom. Helps to supplement learning, engage students, and we challenge them through project-based learning. Under my nonprofit Experience Aviation, we challenge kids to build airplanes and build race cars. It's actually pretty fascinating to take students with no prior background in these fields, and we challenge them to build airplanes, build race cars, and do some amazing things. And that's part of my nonprofit, experienceaviation.org. Can't wait to take you guys up on a flight in the Mitsubishi MU-2. This plane's just amazing. It's honestly the Ferrari of the skies. When you look at
A little hot down in South Florida.
Yeah, it is. All right, ready?
I'm ready.
Clear on your side. I already gave him a warning.
Clear, right?
All right, I'll turn on my beacon light. All right, here we go. Right hand selected. Beta light is on. Signal in. Wait for him to walk off. All right, ready? Here we go. And I'm clear.
You're clear.
All right, here we go. Beta light goes off, waiting for light off to occur. Light off has occurred. Waiting for beta light to come back on. Nice rise on the RPM. Always keep my hand here in case there's a hot start. But she's pulling up nicely.
And you can activate your noise cancellation.
Oh, right.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah, where'd that go? All right. Oh, yeah, that works great.
Big difference, right?
Yeah, all right. Can't even hear the engines anymore.
Yep, this plane is pretty noisy on the ground, no question about that.
Yeah.
It's a windy day. We're going to get some crosswind practice, that's for sure.
That'd be fun.
Ground Aero 200 looking to pick up IFR to Pontiac, information Zulu.
Ground Mitsubishi 423 Delta Bravo, it's at spot 7 with Zulu. Ready to taxi to the active, will be VFR departure.
Mitsubishi 423 Delta Bravo, Oakland ground, runway 9 left, taxi via November.
9 left via November, 423 Delta Bravo.
Air Royal 200, I'll
clear
have
on your
that
side.
in about 5 minutes.
We're going to go 9 left via November. What's special about this plane, you know, most airplanes, the fuselage and the body of the plane is first designed and then they figure out the engine.
Right.
The MU-2 was designed actually first starting with the engine.
Okay.
And the rest of the airplane was designed.
Yeah.
It's actually very rare.
Well, I've seen them. You can hear them everywhere. That's
Yeah, you can hear these things. Now, there are some upgrades you can do, like with the MT propellers.
Okay.
It's much more quieter, and I'm seriously thinking about upgrading this and changing out to the MT props.
What is it, just different design? They're no less
Different
noisy?
design. I think it's the 5-bladed prop.
Okay.
And it's at an angle.
Right.
And it just limits it cuts down on the noise quite a bit.
Yeah.
Number 423 Delta Bravo, Opa Tower, fly eastbound, runway 9 left, clear for takeoff.
Fly eastbound 9 left, clear for takeoff, 423 Delta Bravo.
All right, so there's a sequence you go through.
611
Make sure I'm set for takeoff, land, igniters, auto, prop sync off. I'm not going to turn on my heats yet, it's so hot.
Yeah,
Turn
I
on
don't
my
think you need
strobe
it.
lights. And I just verify. And we're clear traffic-wise. Oops, sorry there. I'll line up on the center line here. Ready for takeoff. I'm looking for both beta lights to go out. They're out, pushing for 90%.
Can I make this a touch and go instead and then head back to approach?
Notice this thing gives you a really nice kick.
Yeah.
Clear touch and go 9 left, 80213.
It's 750 horsepower aside.
Wow.
So coming up on 100. To keep that in there.
611 Echo Alpha, fly eastbound for now, runway 9
nice and
right,
smooth.
clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 9 right, and I'll take over.
All right, gears coming up.
611 Echo Alpha.
Yeah, it's a little quieter in flight, I think.
Oh yeah, much quieter. Gonna go to flaps 5 now.
Phoenix Air 41, runway 9 right, clear touch and go.
Runway.
Pretty windy today.
Yeah.
Phoenix Air 41.
You gotta be careful with your temps in a turboprop, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No need for us to speed too fast here. We're gonna be at a low altitude. But right now, I was doing about 1,600 feet a minute.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
423 Delta Bravo,
Yeah,
frequency
still
change approved.
Frequency change approved, 423 Delta Bravo.
Yeah, you're still doing 1,500 feet a minute?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's kind of nice out over there.
Yeah. We'll get over the bumps shortly. It's a fun plane to hand fly.
Yeah. And so you take this all over, promoting or working or doing the work for flying classroom?
Oh yeah, this is the rugged beast you need, you know, for missions where you're flying, you know, 500, 600, 700 miles.
Well, a lot of times, you know, say you are going to a smaller town where the closest airline service is an hour and a half drive away.
Correct.
Then you got to go to the airport here 2 hours before, take the flight. Then you got to rent a car, do something. And whereas, you know, so you're by the time you get where you want to go, it's 5 or 6 hours.
That is correct.
And then in this, you just fly there 2 hours later, you're straight there.
Yeah, with airlines now, with the hub and spoke system, it is very,
turn left northbound.
it's challenging. It's challenging because you're literally going to waste half a day or pretty much a full day. You know, it could be as simple as Jackson, Mississippi. To go from Miami to Jackson, Mississippi, you're going to waste 8 hours.
Yeah. Wow, that's a nice pool down there. I've never seen that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a little beach or something.
Yeah, probably some theme park there.
Now, Phoenix Air 41. 80213, roger. Phoenix Air 41.
That's a windy day in South Florida.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. I mean, look
Yeah.
at the beach down there and everything. That's great. Right on the water.
So before I make this turn going southbound, looking for traffic, I like to stay at kind of an odd altitude out here.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll stay. I see one airplane below us. Start a nice turn.
November 611 Echo Alpha, fly
Yeah,
northwest,
well, you know, there's so many people out doing sightseeing stuff out here, right?
Yeah.
Banner towing and all that. Maybe not today with the banners, 'cause it's a little windy, but...
They'll probably cruise somewhere around 2,300 feet. Stay underneath the Class Bravo.
Uh-huh.
Stay in an odd space as well.
Man, that's a beautiful shot down there. That's great.
Yeah.
So what's one of the cooler, things like for expeditions you've done in this?
Oh, goodness. Recently we did cave diving.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Dove in some blue holes.
Where was that?
And this was in Marsh Harbor, Bahamas.
Uh-huh.
And that was just quite honestly, that was a rewarding thing to do.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you know, you're finding prehistoric things and fossils down there,
yeah.
and it was a very rewarding thing to do.
So did you load up people in some film gear and
people, dive equipment, film gear? If you know, cave diving is extremely dangerous to do.
Right.
This was the right plane to do it.
We flew the airplane down the beautiful Florida coast from Fort Lauderdale and then returned to the airport.
I'm going to start dropping gears now. Sometimes they like to have us do a short approach.
Holding short 9 left.
Tango Charlie India, Oblaka
I see it in the mirror.
Yeah.
Opaloka Tower, November 682 Delta
All right,
Whiskey.
unsafe flight is off.
So Opaloka is a fairly busy airport, I guess.
Opaloka is very busy. Very busy.
Most of the corporate aviation from Miami comes in there.
Yeah, your only options really Fort Lauderdale Executive or Opaloka.
Yeah.
You have Tamiami, but it's pretty far
November 3
south.
Delta Bravo, follow the jet traffic on 1 mile final, runway 9 left, clear to land.
9 left, clear to land. We have that jet traffic in sight, 423 Delta Bravo.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, got him.
Yeah, and we flew out of...
Runway 9 left.
We flew from Miami International to Fort Lauderdale yesterday, and, you know, that's signature aviation to Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a $900 ramp fee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Opaloka becomes a great alternative for a lot of folks. Okay, that airplane has touched down.
Head tower, we're headed to customs today for 7 lane pop.
7 lane Papa Roger, turn right, taxiway Charlie, and
We got
contact
gear
ground.
down, we got flaps 20.
Charlie, contact
Set
ground,
to take
7 lane
off,
pop.
prop sync is off. We have our taxi lights on. During the daytime, it's more than sufficient for
Tango 2 and ready for the
landing.
We'll stay in
Yeah.
the pattern doing touch and goes.
Number 235 for Echo, Oblaka Tower, Roger, make it right, traffic, runway 9 right, runway 12 at Tango 2, clear for takeoff.
Right
All right,
traffic,
clear this and
runway 9
land.
right, runway 12 clear for takeoff, 5 for Echo.
$500.
Yeah, put in a little bit of work.
Right? Oh, yeah, it's blowing us over.
Yeah.
I think it was 120 at 15, was it?
Thing is, you have to be very, very patient with this.
Yeah, right on the center line.
All right. See, look at the force I have to put in.
To keep it, yeah.
But look what these props do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got the reverse thrust on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can feel the wind kind of picking up on this end.
Oh, yeah.
Well, good job, though.
Thank you.
Really cool airplane.
Number 3 Delta Bravo, turn right, taxiway Echo, contact ground now.
Right on Echo, contact ground went off, 423 Delta Bravo.
So hey Barrington, thanks so much, man, for letting me fly with you.
Man, awesome having you. I got to bring you on some of my expeditions.
Yeah,
now.
Absolutely. We'll do some collaborations together. That's cool. We're gonna do some stuff in the future. So check out his website and his Twitter and all that stuff, right?
Yep. Look me up, flyingclassroom.com or Barrington Irving. Blue skies, guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching another episode of Flying Doodles. A lot of fun and pretty cool story with him. Pretty cool airplane too. So really, I'm glad we got to do that. If there's an airplane you'd like me to fly, or you have an airplane you'd like me to fly and film on, let's do it. There's a link in the email. And thank you guys for watching. Please click like. Please subscribe. That's how we kind of get all the likes and the hits, and that's how, this is my full-time job making these videos. So please do that. And if you're really enjoying it, it's patreon.com/flyingdoodles. You can become a patron for as little as $1 per month. And that kind of helps us fund that because we really don't make that much off of the YouTube revenue.